So if this is your first time joining us, we are very interactive. So I'm going to ask you to stay involved. And more than anything, guys, man, besides chatting in the chat box, which kind of lets me know you're there, let's get some of those cameras turned on, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's crazy, but this is the face God gave you. So bring it to light, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I want to see some faces. There's nothing worse than being a Zoom coach talking to a bunch of boxes with names on it. Okay, guys. So let's get some of those cameras on. Let me see some of those beautiful faces. Good morning, everybody. All right, my name is David Kurz. I am your freedom coach this morning. And every single every single Thursday, 11 a.m., we're here at this same Zoom link, ready to work with you, ready to coach, ready to blow up with you guys, and just have a ton of fun, to be quite honest with you. Last week, we really got into the mindset of all kinds of different thought processes that go through somebody's mind when the new year begins. And so we really wanted to dig into mindset. We really wanted to understand what that meant for the new year. Today, I want to talk to you about probably one of the most important things that we need to be focusing on this coming year for a few reasons. One of those reasons is the market has shifted. The other reason is it's just important for marketing and branding, okay? So one of the first things we always do at one of our sessions, this is a freedom coaching event. So every single time we start one of our events, we go straight to the chat box and we type in the following words. It's a freedom day. Let me see you guys type that in there. It's a freedom day. Now, while you're typing that in there, I'm going to explain why we do this. Ladies and gentlemen, you're in training right now. You're coaching right now because you want to be better at your business. You want to be better at your business because you want to make more money. You want to make more money because you feel that some of those finances will help you find some freedoms, whether they be time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, family freedom, whatever it means to you. That's what it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for making it a freedom day with me. I'm stoked to be here today. I'm super hyper, by the way. If you can't tell, I'm on pre-workout and coffee. I live in Miami, so it is definitely strong Cuban coffee. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fired up. Are you guys ready? Type yes in the chat box. I want to see it. You guys ready? Let's go. All right, guys. So today, we're going to talk about something that, like I said, is critical for this year, and it is content. Today's name of the session is called Content is King or Queen, however you want to call it, right? But content is going to be one of the most important pieces of this year. Now, we're going to talk about two sides of the content. We're going to talk about copyright, and we're going to talk about where this content goes and how you can utilize this content to stay vibrant in your business and to stay relevant in this business. Now, one of the things that I will tell you, I'm going to tell you this quick story. 2008 market crashes. Some of you were around for that. I was. When the market crashed, I was doing a lot of business in Miami Beach, and I had shifted my market to go towards the short sale market. In my brain, I was trying to figure out how to shift with the market, right? One of the ladies that I knew in Miami Beach who used to do a lot of luxury real estate, most luxury realtors either fell off the map, lost all their money, disappeared, or they just stopped transacting because it got so crazy with the market crash that they just held on to the money that they had to survive what was to come. But this lady took a different route. This lady bought up every bus bench and put her face on it. She bought up every bus that was driving around Miami Beach, and she put her face on it. And she bought up any advertisement that you could find and put her face on it through Miami Beach. So, of course, being who I am and trying to figure out why in the world would you spend that kind of money during the market crash where no property is moving, right? And I called her up. I said, can I just buy you a cup of coffee? You pick the place, I'll buy the coffee. She said, sure, no problem. We sat down, we spoke, which you would be surprised how many top-level coaches, top-level producers, high producers absolutely love to talk about themselves. So if you invite somebody out for a cup of coffee, they would love to sit down with you and tell you all about them and their business and so forth and so on, right? And so when we sat down, I asked her, I said, I have to know, why would you spend that amount of money to advertise yourself all over the place? Now, keep in mind, it's 2008. We don't have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all this craziness that we have right now that we can push out to, right? This is print marketing to the max. And she said to me, first of all, by the fact that you invited me out to coffee already says that I was relevant enough for this meeting. And that hit me hard right off the bat, because she's right. Had she not put those pictures up, I would never have seen her. Had I never seen her, I would never have invited her out for coffee to even talk to her. And then she said, by the way, every single luxury client that still is maintaining and holding on to their home and is still okay financially is coming back to Miami because we crashed the hardest and buying inventory up. So the short sales that you're doing, some of my investors want those. I said, man, that makes sense. And she goes, yeah, but not only does it make sense, I did not leave it to fate for them to understand whether or not I was still in the business. Of course, I'm going to call them. Of course, I'm going to email them. Of course, we're going to be in touch. But when they land at that airport and they cross the MacArthur Causeway and go into Miami Beach, the first thing they're going to see is 5 bus benches on their way to their luxury mansion on the beach. And every single one of them is going to have my face on it. There will be no doubt that I am still rocking and rolling in this business. I said, great point. Then she said, point number 3, when markets reduce, prices go down on advertising. She said, before it was $500 a month per bus bench. Now I negotiated 10 for $500 a month, because nobody else is going to pay for them. Nobody else wants them. And the company that owns that advertising rights to that bus bench, well, they want to sell the space. So I'm dominating. She goes, by the way, I negotiated in my contract that that would be my price for the next 4 years. I think it was 4 years or 5 years. Can you imagine that? Like just a year after the crash in Miami, markets were moving again. Houses were getting picked up, short sales were moving, REOs were moving, right? And then just 3 years later, we were almost back in an average market. We weren't at a crazy market, but we were at an average market. And so she still had 10 bus benches for $500. And then she finished it off with this: you need to be the loudest person in the room. Almost obnoxious. And then, of course, you take that away, you walk away, and now social media, you got a lot of social media influencers out there that are telling you, and I would say it to you, you need to be louder than everyone else. You need to post more content than everyone else. Now that we're shifted and we've moved into a different market and prices have adjusted, it is up to you to tell the consumer what's happening out there. Because if you leave it up to fate, what you do is you leave it up to CNN and Fox News, CNBC and NBC and all these other news channels that are speaking on a national level. And of course, news stations are drama channels, so they're selling the doom and gloom. So how do you come in and make a change to that content? So this is the first lesson. The first lesson is control the narrative. You're going to hear me say that a lot as you come into coaching with me in the future. You're going to hear me say, control the narrative, control the narrative, control the narrative. You're going to hear that often from me. And the reason that you're going to hear that often from me is because if you do not control the narrative, you're allowing somebody else to control the fate of your business. Period. End of story. Angela's market is different than Maria's. Maria's market is different than Tony's. Tony's market is different than Heather's. Heather's market is different than Carlos. Carlos' market different than Brandy. My market's different than Daniel's or Monique's. What I'm telling you is I need to be on my channel, on my content, speaking my truth. and controlling the narrative that people are hearing. Now, are you going to get to everyone? No, but you're going to get to your followers. You're going to get to people that want to work with you. You're going to get to the ones who are tracking what you're doing in your business. And you won't always know who they are, by the way. So keep that in mind. Just because you don't get a lot of comments, or maybe you don't get a lot of likes or whatever, do not, under any circumstances, believe that because you didn't get 17 million likes on a post, no one saw it. That doesn't determine whether or not, how many of you have seen a post and scrolled right past it. Do you guys double tap and like every single post you see? No. How many of you have looked at a post, read it, said, that's interesting, and kept going? Do you have to like in every comment, every single thing you like? No. So I promise you, there are people seeing this. And I promise you, if you really realize that lesson number 2 is consistent content. And you are consistently putting out content through different avenues of promotion, then you're going to see, I promise you guys, a year from now, 2 years from now, a year and a half from now, somebody's going to roll up to you in one of the oddest freaking places in the world. It could be Walmart, it could be at a restaurant, it could be somewhere. And somebody's going to go, hey, you're Sky. Yeah, I've been following you on social media for the last 3 years. Great content. Dude, that's what happens, right? That's what happens. Now, I want to talk to you guys. Let's go right into copyright, because although content and putting it out there is king, we're going to go right into copyright. We're going to talk about 2 sides. Copyright. Sorry, my spelling sucks. And we're going to talk about where it goes. Now, copyright's going to be very important because the content you put out has to capture the attention and has to be informative, right? So, have you guys ever seen an article that comes out and it says, foreclosures in America break records? That title, if no one reads the article, that title is going to let you run with your imagination. Right? It's a capture. People will talk about that, right? The Wall Street News says foreclosures at all-time record breaking in America, right? Or breaks records in America. And then the few that actually read the article figure out that it's a record-breaking drop in foreclosures. But that's not what you understood when you read that title. Or it doesn't even get into record-breaking anything. It just talks about what's happening with foreclosures in the United States. It's clickbait. Somebody, Daniel says clickbait. You're right. Okay. So now here's the crazy part though, right? When you're writing copyright, okay, we're going to do something real quick. We're going to break down copyright into 3 sections. We got a hook. We got a story. Okay. And last, we have a sell. Hook, story, sell. Okay. Now, with hook, story, sell, this is how you should think about every piece of content that you put out that is related to your business. Okay. I'm not saying like, you take the kids to Disney and you got to think about hook, story, sell. All right. I'm talking about if you want somebody to be attracted to a piece of information that you're putting out, this is where we need to be. Hook, story, sell. So how do we hook? First of all, this is true for video and for written content. True for video and for written content. What we're doing is we're taking the first 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds of somebody looking at this video or reading this article that you posted or reading this post on Facebook that you created, and we're hooking them. We need them to pull in and read the rest of the information. So when you see videos, let's say I post a video and I say, hey guys, my name's David Adam Kurz. I'm the Freedom Coach, and owner of Freedom Organization, LLC, here in Miami, Florida. Did that interest anybody here? No, right? Type no in the chat box because you know it didn't. Did it interest anybody? Did it interest anybody? Was that something that you were going to say, I wonder what else he's going to say, right? Okay. So now let's say same content, same video. By the way, you don't need to introduce yourself because you posted it on your timeline. Your freaking name's right there, right? Like it's right there. Okay. What if I started that video and I said 250,000 real estate agents will leave the industry this year? Would you be interested in listening more? Yes or no? Type in the chat box. Right? So now you're catching the difference. Okay? Say, just to take it to a personal level, you go to Disney with the kids. There's a new ride at Disney. I don't know. Let's call it the new Mickey Mouse carousel. Right? 2 ways to start this video. First, hi guys, this is David Kurz and my wife Jennifer and I and our 4 kids went to Disney on Tuesday. Is that interesting? Yes or no? Somebody wrote, I might watch it. It means you might watch it. All right, I got one. All right, now, what if I say, start same video, and I go, 3 out of 4 of my kids went on the new Mickey Mouse roller coaster and it freaked them out. What if I started with that? Is that different? Right? So first of all, I gave some statistics. 3 out of 4 of my kids, right? And then I actually gave the emotion to it. They got on this roller coaster and it absolutely freaked them out. You might watch the rest of that video. You might want to be like, wait, whoa, what roller coaster is this? Now let's talk about your local market, right? So there's so much content that I believe that could be put out when you're a real estate professional, because if you are trying to dominate a particular market, it doesn't always have to be just listed, just sold, market rates, this and that, blah, blah. It has to also be about the neighborhood you're working to farm. And if you're working to farm an area that has other businesses in it, well, that's another piece of content you could put out, right? Again, let's say there's a new pizza shop. Tony's Pizza Shop opens up in a neighborhood that I am dominating. Like, this is my intention, is to dominate this neighborhood, to not allow any other real estate agents in this neighborhood, right? And I see coming soon, Tony's Pizzeria, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I roll up into Tony's Pizzeria and I'm like, Tony, is it okay if I make a video and post it on my social media so that my followers that are local to this neighborhood know that you are coming up with a new pizzeria? What's Tony gonna say? Yes, please give me this freaking promotion, right? Then I'm gonna say, hey, Tony, check this out, man. If somebody comes in here, okay, what's your special? 2 pizzas and a Coke for $5, right? I would say, okay, if somebody comes here and drops my name and says, hey, I was told that if I mention David Kurz, I get free garlic knots. Would you do that for me? Right? Tony's gonna go, sure. Let's get some folks in here, right? Now, if I start that video and I go, hey guys, this is David Kurz with so-and-so Realty and the Freedom Organization, and my kids and I went out to grab some pizza today. Fucking boring, right? Like, we're lost our minds, right? Next hook, I go, guys, 100% the best pizza I've ever had in Pinecrest, Florida. Whole difference. By the way, is that a video that you guys could put out? 100% yes. Just because you're in real estate doesn't mean you can't talk about the neighborhood. You have to. You don't just sell the house, you sell the lifestyle of that community. Is there a park? Is there a restaurant? Is there a new store? Is there a new clothing store? What's happening? Is there a new doctor moving in? Right? Is there a new surgery clinic, surgery center, something, anything? Go talk about it. The amount of content that you could put out is unbelievable as a real estate agent, because you don't always need to talk. By the way, those of you that have an Instagram and Facebook and everything is about interest rates and markets and just sold and just listing and new construction, your page is boring AF. Okay, it's boring. Nobody cares about your page. Look at me, I'm like a teenager over here doing acronyms and shit. AF, right? Listen, it is boring. But when you include those other things in it, like the stop at the restaurant, the new shop that opened up, the cool stuff that's happening in your neighborhood, you get to dominate in that space and people will begin to listen. By the way, it should be 20% real estate, 20% that stuff, 60% you. 60% you. Because if I call Tony Morgan, who's in Texas, and I ask Tony, if I call him and I tell him that I want to work with him as a real estate agent, chances are very high that it wasn't because he kept putting just listen, just sell, just listen, just sell. Chances are higher that it's because I follow him on social media and I actually feel like I can connect with Tony. You're going to be true to you, to the world, and people are going to be attracted to who you are. And they're going to want to work with you because Lord knows we hear this 17 million times. People will work with you because they want know, like, and trust you. And this is the craziest opportunity we have on social media. There are 3 pieces to creating a psychological sale with somebody. It's touch, sound, and sight. Those are the 3 pieces. What is social media giving the world? Sound and sight. They see me, they watch my videos, they understand my persona, they see me interact with my children, they see all this stuff. And because they see all this stuff, they feel like they can relate to me, so they begin to trust me. Last piece is just for me to shake that person's hand and say, hey, pleasure to meet you. So glad you called me. So glad we connected on the DM. Right? Now let's get to the next piece, storytelling. This is going to be one of the biggest pieces that I hope you take away today, because the hook is extremely important, but what comes after the hook is dominative. Storytelling is one of the best ways for you to attract people, make people feel like they're getting involved in your life. And the reason we want people to get involved in your life is because people are nosy by nature. That is why social media is so freaking popular. Think about it. If no one was nosy and no one cared what their neighbor was doing, would social media even work? No, absolutely not. But I want to know what my competition's doing, what my neighbors are doing, what my friends are doing, right? All that stuff. I want to see it all. And so because I want to see it all, if you give me a 2-liner, right? Let's get into the business now. Let's talk about just so, just listing, right? If you give me a few lines and it goes, just listed, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in, I don't know, Austin, Texas, 450,000, call me now. Woohoo! Super cool, right? Like you just gave the information on the house. Great. That's bare bones is nothing, right? Thank you. Bare bones. Now, what if my post looks something like this? Absolutely best price single family home in the Austin, Texas neighborhood. I don't know neighborhoods in Austin, Texas. I'm sorry, right? In the ABC neighborhood in Austin, Texas. Okay, now you might have my attention. And then the next sentence says, Mr. and Mrs. Smith have lived in this house for the last 12 years. And their kids went through middle school and high school in the local schools, ABC School and ABC High School. Both highly rated schools. Both kids have now been accepted to major universities, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith are looking to downgrade. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm storytelling. Why am I storytelling Mr. and Mrs. Smith's story? Because I want to tie some emotion to that property. A property is cold. Glasses are cold. This is property. This is property. This is cold. But if I tell you the story behind these glasses, how my grandfather used to wear these glasses every single day. When he got off the boat from Europe, right? At the Statue of Liberty, he was wearing these glasses. I put a story behind it. I put a story behind it. These glasses become more important. They become more relevant. Now we get into Mr. and Mrs. Smith's story. Mr. and Mrs. Smith have placed enormous amounts of love in this house. Happiness, excitement grows in this house every single day. And now Mr. and Mrs. Smith are relinquishing that love and that protection to you. Not to the buyer that comes to buy this house. No, to you, the person reading this right now, right? It becomes a very different thing. By the way, you could use that same copyright on your flyers, on the information that you're putting out to people, on the ads that you create, all for that property. Now the Disney story. Let's go back to the kids on the scary roller coaster. What if we talk about the emotion? What if we talk about what the kids said when they were on it? All of that stuff. What if you are talking about how passionate you are about this real estate business? Because some of you really love this business. You really love it. Some of you still get goosebumps when a brand new first-time home buyer sits at the table and signs their closing statement. Some of y'all get that, but no one knows about it because you're not telling it anymore. So here's added opportunity. Tell that story, right? Imagine if I write 18 years in this business and I still get emotional at closings. That's something people are going to want to read. People are going to want to be attracted to it. They're going to want to know more. Then I go into the storytelling, what that means to me, right? I'm a veteran. For me, I still get emotional when I can help a veteran build wealth. Huge for me. Everyone has their thing. Write about it. Last piece, you got hook, story. Now you got to sell them something. You got to sell them something. You have to ask for the business. If you don't ask for the business, then thank you for telling me your story. Right? Great story. Glad I read this one. Swipe. But if you finish that with, allow me the opportunity to help you purchase your next home or sell your next home. Allow me the opportunity to tell your story. Then call to action. Call me at my phone number, 555-1212. Put your number out there. People are like, I'm not putting my number out there. Okay, you be a secret agent. I'm going to put my number out there. You hide, make people try to Google you. I'm going to put my number out there. Everywhere. Right? If you're afraid to put your cell phone number on things, get a Google voice number and use that. And put the app on your phone. Super easy. And it costs free $99. It's free. Right? So taking this hook, story, sell. Now, this right here, this hook, story, sell, this works on video. It works on podcasts. It works on copyright, like writing out a post on Facebook. It works on follow-up to a video or story, right? When you're putting something on Instagram, it's a picture or a video. The copyright works for that. When you're posting a photo, tell the story. It makes a difference. Understand what you're putting out there and tell the story. Okay? This works for all of that. Start practicing it, right? Start practicing it. Like, let's try this right now. in the chat box, let's say you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $2 million home on the water in Miami Beach. What's your hook for that? Just give me a hook. Type it out in the chat box. I want to see the hooks. Rob says, I only look like that when I'm in witness protection. Think of a hook. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, waterfront, Miami Beach. Come live the Miami lifestyle. Excellent. What else? Anybody got a great hook? Bring it in there. Come on, guys. Everybody participate. Want to wake up with this view? Huge, huge, because you're posting the photo, right? You're going to post a photo about that. By the way, if you use want to wake up with this view, you got to put the view as the first photo, right? Don't mistake that one. Okay. Live with the stars. Yes. Make South Beach your beach. Love it. Cheapest waterfront in Miami under 2 million. Exactly. Right. Now, I hate to use the word cheapest, so I'll go with best priced or most affordable. Right. On the water living. Okay. On the water, Miami Beach. Let's live the life. Past the sunrise every morning from your waterfront condo. Beautiful. Can't believe this waterfront property in Miami Beach lately. Oh, yo, Latoya, thank you. I can't believe this waterfront property beach, right? Your beachfront paradise awaits. Perfect. Is the beach your zen? Wake up to zen every day. Yes, the beach is my zen, folks, right? All right, this is what you can have on the water in Miami for. Yes, it's a good lead-in. That's a good lead-in, right? Okay, experience amazing views with beachfront properties. Beautiful, stunning waterfront home in paradise. Amazing, right? These are the ones, think about that. All of these are better than 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2,200 square foot, waterfront property, Miami Beach. It's boring, right? But now we hooked them. Now you tell a story behind the unit. Now you sell it. Okay, now let's talk about yes, priceless views at only 2 million. Yes, because people know, right? If you're looking at those views, the first thing that pops in somebody's head is it's way too expensive. You say it's only 2 million. Some people are going to go, only, I can't get $2 million house. That's okay, because the person who can goes only 2 million. Wow. Big difference, right? You never know who's looking at what, right? Wake up with the best prices, or wake up to the best views in Miami Beach under 3 million. Beautiful, right? Now, let's talk about where it goes. We talk about a few different things. Number one, I want to talk about your website. If you do not have a website, get one. Okay? If you do not have a website, get one. You absolutely need a website. Websites right now. So if you're on here and you're a real estate agent, you need a website to sell your properties. You need somewhere where people feel comfortable to go look at properties, right? So that they can stop sending you links from Zillow, right? Okay, that's one. Two, if you're, let's say you're not in real estate, but whether you're real estate or not, I am a big believer in having a website that is a resume page to who you are. Does that make sense to you guys? I believe that. I believe that having a resume page to who you are is critical and important. Somebody just wrote, Agent Fire did mine. I'm gonna tell you something about Agent Fire. Agent Fire is excellent at creating resume pages that tie in the MLS and searchability. It's amazing. Companies like Agent Fire, and there's a couple other ones, that they know how to create a website where you are the forefront and the brand and the development of that website. And then somewhere on there, it says search for homes, right? Click here to find your, Miami home or Tennessee home or whatever it is, right? And then your personal website needs to have a blog. And I know a lot of folks think, Dave, Blogging is old school. Let's get to social media, baby. I agree to disagree. Blogging creates content, words. That content creates attraction to your website called SEO, search engine optimization. Google realizes that you are constantly putting original content on your website. Hear that out. Original content. Not that you went to Inman, copied and pasted on your website. You get X'd out. That content doesn't matter. But original content on your blog will bring more attraction and rank your website higher over time. Okay? Higher over time. Next piece. Social media. And by the way, we're going to talk about these pieces, but we're also going to talk about how to tie them all in together. Okay? Next piece, podcast. Now, I'm going to put YouTube on here because I don't really consider YouTube to be social media. I know a lot of people tie YouTube into social media, but I don't believe that YouTube is social media. I don't believe it's a place where we communicate with each other like social media allows us to. I believe YouTube is a library of videos that allows you to showcase who you are and bring your value to the channel, right? Let's talk about social media real quick. In social media, you've got different avenues. What I would say to you is choose 2 to 3 of these avenues and become very, very good at those avenues. Right now, I have 2 that I'm excellent at. I participate in the other ones, but got my limitations, ladies and gentlemen, right? So I am big on Facebook and Instagram. I love it. I've got a ton of followers. I've built it over the years. It's my jam, okay? LinkedIn, I need to be on LinkedIn more, but I'm not. Twitter, I need to be there more, but I'm not. TikTok, I just never got around to it. I would rather make reels on Instagram than make reels on TikTok. Do you have to do what I'm doing? No. As a matter of fact, I'm missing the boat on TikTok. I think TikTok's fantastic. I think it's a great platform, right? So, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? LinkedIn, all the good stuff, Twitter. Okay. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mike, do me a favor. Put the website that we use to transcribe videos inside the chat box for everybody.
Okay.
Mike is going to put a website in here in the chat box. Grab that website, save it to your notes. Now, this is a key thing that I think is a phenomenal thing to use, and it helps a lot. Video is the highest consumption of material right now, or content right now. It is now, and it will be for a very, very, very long time. People would rather watch a video than they would rather read an article. However, when you create these videos, you can go to this website called happyscribe.com. You can load up your video, and HappyScribe will transcribe the entire video for you. Now, if I took that video and I posted it on Instagram, I posted it on Facebook, I posted it on YouTube. Well, on Facebook and Instagram, I could just post a video and then write a commentary in the comment section, right? In YouTube, you have a huge unlimited amount of description space, right? That you could just describe your heart away, right? In YouTube, you go to the description box when you load that video up, and you take the entire transcription and you put it in there. Why? Searchability. Somebody goes to YouTube and types in home in Miami. If your stuff says that, then you'll be contacted for that, right? Now, I take the same YouTube channel. By the way, all of this is recorded and on my YouTube. You guys are all going to get links to it because you registered, so don't worry about it. You're going to find it, okay? So I'm going to go a little quick because I want to be respectful for your time, but you could come back and watch the end of this video, right? I'm going to take the link or the widget to this YouTube, and I'm going to go to my blog, and I'm going to post that video in my blog. And in the blog, I'm going to also post that entire transcription. Why? Because if I spoke something out, that's original content. That original content created and transcribed, put in the blog, people can read it, people can watch the video, they can choose to do whatever they want when they're on my blog. But that transcription is going to create more content, more words, more original words and content on my website. If you guys are using things like Chime or things of that nature that have front-facing websites, they all have blog options. Go crazy, have fun with it, create content, right? If I take that same video and I bring it to Facebook, Instagram, if I put it on my Twitter, if I put it on my YouTube, all of that is going to add the added content. Now, I talk about this because I really want you to think about cross-pollinating in the different areas of the internet, okay? The more content you have on different platforms on the internet, the easier it is to search for yourself. So one of the missions that I'm going to give you guys today is I want you to search yourself. Go to Google, type in your name. If you have a super common name, type in your name and the state, city and state you're in. If you still can't find yourself, type in your name, then the word realtor, and then the city and state that you're from, and see what comes up. By the way, companies like Inman will allow you to write articles for them. If you have enough content out, you can apply to become someone who writes articles on Inman. That's added internet value and content. The more information you put out, the easier it is to find you online, the more searchable you are. And that's why I believe strongly in the cross-pollination of the different content. You make a video, transcribe it, post it in different places. You create a great post and you post it on Facebook. You got the hook, you got the story, you got the sell, you post it on Facebook. It does a really great job and people are commenting, people love the topic. Think about making a video about it and taking that video and putting it on Instagram and YouTube. Now, the last piece I'm going to give you about video. Guys, don't get super critical with yourself on video, okay? I know a lot of you are going, Dave, like if you are not comfortable doing video, go to the chat box and write no. If you're not comfortable doing video, go to the chat box and write no. And I want you to be honest because I want people to see that they're not alone, right? They're not alone, okay? There are other people who are terrified of being on video, okay? So here's what I'm going to give you. You are who you are, and the world made you look the way you look. And every time you step out of your house, everyone that sees you accepts you for who you are. When you create that video, you look exactly like that. Nothing changes. Second, the idea of needing professional equipment and for it to have to be perfect, forget about that. Because people want genuine from you. They want to see you genuine. Now, can you get a tripod? Yeah, absolutely. Put the tripod, hold it, hit record, talk to the camera. That's what I do for most of my videos, right? Most of my videos are recorded. I think one of these days, I swear to God, I'm going to have a freaking billboard that says recorded on my iPhone 13. My iPhone records everything, all my videos. By the way, this right here, this thing I'm waving right here, is the best single tripod in the world. Honest to God. Just hold the phone like this and make a video. Right? A lot of you are afraid to make video because you want it to be perfect, because you want it to be, you want the world to see you as a professional. But the truth is that you are who you are. And it's okay. It's 100% okay to take the phone and just create video. That video that I talked about with the kids and the roller coaster and all that stuff, just like this. Just like this. Now, when you have a property, of course, you want to create professional videography of your property and things of that nature, but there is absolutely 100% nothing wrong with going, hey guys, I know that you've seen me posting a lot about my waterfront mansion that I just listed for $17.4 million. And I'm live on Facebook, and I just want to give you guys a tour. Who wants to see this beautiful house? Everybody does. Right? And so you take them on a tour of the house, turn the camera around, take them on a tour of the house. Be genuine, be authentic, be who you are, and stop being afraid of the video. Because video ain't nothing but an interpretation of who we are in real life. Have fun with it. Now, I get a lot of shit from people because people go, Dave, it's so easy for you to say. You do video all the time. You're really good at it. Go to my YouTube, click on my videos, put it in chronological order, and go find my first videos where I was standing like this, like the camera was about to attack if I moved too much. Okay. I had my team. I had 3 girls on my team. They were standing behind me like the Rockettes at my listing. Okay. And we were just, it was weird. It was not a good video at all, but I did it. And I kept doing it and kept doing it until you got better and better and better at it. Right. That's what I'm asking of you guys. I promise you, commit to yourself to create some video, commit to yourself to put out more content. And what you're going to find is that you are going to be the loudest person in the room. Create mass emails to your database. Speak to your database. Call your database. Post on social media. Comment on the comments. Another piece. Be interesting. You have to be interesting, right? We talked about ways to be interesting on social media, but it's more important to be interested. Don't just use social media as an outlet. Use social media as an inlet too. You see somebody's post, comment on it. If it interests you, comment on it. Somebody had a birthday, congratulations. Happy birthday to you. Somebody graduated, man, congratulations. What are you doing next? Ask questions, create interaction, right? That, by the way, is how you build the relationships instead of just being a walking billboard. Okay. Any questions for me? I want to open it up because we got 10 minutes and I want to use it wisely. Does anyone have any questions for me? Now, next week, we're going to get deeper into content and copyright. Week after that, we're going to go hardcore on the cross-pollination of social media. Okay. So anyone have any questions for me right now? I'm happy to answer them. We got 9 minutes. Mindy says, we converted our small conference room to a recording room. If you had to pick one, soundproof stuff for the walls or mics. So mics, I'm a big fan of the Yeti mics, which are these right here. They're not crazy expensive, couple $100, but what's great about the Yeti mics is that if you're doing one-on-ones, you can actually create the directionals. So you can have sound come from just this side. You can have sound come from all 4 sides, or you can have sound come from the back and forth. It has a little knob in the back here that's excellent. And then soundproofing is really easy. If you just go to, like I'll show you around my office. So soundproofing, I got this stuff right here on the walls. And so you can see the soundproofing is all over the room. And pictures on the walls and things of that nature also create soundproofing. And floors are important for soundproofing. When you in that small conference room, put down a nice runner or a rug or something like that to deafen the sound of the floor. Okay, I hope that helps you out. Somebody wrote, which CRM do you recommend? So there are a few options out there. It's a great question. I think it really depends on what your budget is and what you're using the CRM for. So I'll give you a perfect example. As my real estate team, we use Chime as a CRM. The reason that we love Chime is because it has a consumer-facing website that ties into the CRM section. Not all CRMs have that, right? And so we like the consumer-facing website that we could create promotions on Google PPC, Facebook ads, and things of that nature to attract leads to come to that website, utilize it, and then it gets attached automatically to my CRM. And I could distribute leads to my agents through that CRM, right? Also, it monitors what my clients are doing on the website. So if they come back and look at a property more than 5 times, we get a notification that says, John Smith was looking at the house at 123 Main Street 5 times in the last 24 hours. I want to know that kind of stuff because I want to be a creeper. And so I want to call them and say, hey, I noticed you were looking at 123 Main Street, looked at it like 5 times. You want to go see it? Right? And so that's why I like that. On the flip side, for my coaching students, like my one-on-one coaching students, and for attraction and recruiting purposes, I use Follow Up Boss, because Follow Up Boss does not have a consumer front-facing website, and I can adjust it to be what I want it to be. It could be real estate related, it could be sales related, it could be content related, it could be action related. So those are some of the pieces those are like the 2 biggest differences. It also costs budget, right? So where Follow Up Boss will run you $500, there are other CRMs out there that are free, right? And so there's one, I forgot the name of it, that's free. Just type in free CRM and I'm sure you'll find it. I'll check it out right now. Let me do a search because we're here and we may as well. Free CRM for small business. Here we go. HubSpot. So HubSpot.com. Again, no front-facing website, no consumer website, none of that stuff. Just strictly a CRM that will help you, stay in control of your communication with your clients and with your lead flow. Okay. And that one's free. It's limited. Obviously, you pay if you want the more options and things of that nature. And then there's other project management things. Like we use ClickUp for project management. You can use that as a CRM as well. There's Monday.com. All of those are great options. All of them are great options. Again, it really boils down to what you're trying to do with it and what your budget is. We're recording on iPhones. Does that plug into those? Okay, so no. For the iPhones, DJI, write that down, DJI wireless mics. That is going to be your best bet. So some of the videos that you see me in and you get that real crisp quality sound, if you look closely, there'll be a little magnet here on the collar, and it's a DJI wireless mic. Now, these are not the cheapest mics in the world, but man, the quality is fire. And you get hours upon hours upon hours of wireless charge time. So I think it's like 6 hours you can go or something like that. It's pretty crazy. And those do plug into the iPhone. There's a DJI app. So you would just open the app, make sure it's connected, test the sound, always test your video. So when you're recording, just do a test video and tell everybody, say something, say something, say something, say something, record that, then listen to it, make sure it's quality, and then go all in. Okay. But those are pretty amazing. Let's see. I have to see. Violetta, thank you so much. I appreciate you. CRM question is Vadio, so we already answered that. Is there a better way to hold the phone for the various sources? Links for reels, hold it vertical. Man, that's a really, really great question. So I'm going to give you 2 things. If you're creating reels, it has to be vertical. Okay. If you're creating posts or YouTube, vertical is the best way. Now, here's the trick. If I record something for YouTube, but I know that I'm going to want to cut out pieces and make it a reel, right? Then I will record vertical, but I will set the camera further away from me, right? So like if I'm like this, there's not a lot of space, right? But if I get further back, you'll notice that I have all this dead space here on the left and right of me, right? And what I work to do is when I'm recording that video is to stay center in the video. What happens? When I take this video and I post it on YouTube, it's going to look like this with the dead space next to it, but it's still horizontal and I can still do my video. When I take those cuts and I add it to make it a reel, the reel is going to pull the video in to fit to the reel, and it's going to be right here. And because I was centering my video, I'll be in position and I'll be able to get this reel in properly, or this story in properly, if you will, right? There is I'm going to type something in here. There is a video editing software called CapCut. Guys, this is free. Download this on your phone, put it on your computer. The absolute best editing software that I have found out there that is very, very, very easy. Okay. You could create transitions, you could cut, you could move video around, you can edit the color, you can make it brighter, smaller, whatever. You could zoom in and out. And one of the best features it has is that you can create auto captions. And so you just hit auto caption, it plays out the whole thing, creates all the captions for you. I suggest you watch it, make sure things are spelled correctly and things of that nature. You can adjust it. You can change the style. So it's always going to start out as a regular text. You can make it bigger. You can make it bubbly. You can put a shadow on it. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff to it. And then you can also cut videos. So I can change the size so that instead of being horizontal, I could cut it to get it to the right size for a vertical post on a reel. Transitions, a million different transitions, fade ins, fade outs, swirls, lightning, I mean, you name it. And then the last thing that I love about it is that it allows you to add music. So I always suggest when you're making reels, put a nice trending song in the background, keep it nice and low so that it doesn't overpower what you're trying to say. And again, another attractive piece to getting things done, right? Somebody wrote, I use Monday.com. Absolutely, it's pretty awesome. Happy Grasshopper. So Happy Grasshopper, I'll put this in here. It is www.frogmanfollowup. All right, so Frogman Follow-Up is our affiliation and partnership with Happy Grasshopper. What Frogman Follow-Up does is a little bit different. Claudia, thank you for asking. Frogman Follow-Up is not a CRM. It is a communication tool. So when you sign up for Frogman Follow-Up, it's like $47 a month, okay? You can load in specific to your sphere of influence and your past clients. And so each of your sphere of influence and past clients will receive 47 touches a year from you. Text message, email, and voicemail drops. Okay, that is a fantastic way. Look, guys, over 90%, this is NAR stats, over 90% of people say that they would use their realtor again, but less than 40% of them do. Number one reason why? They forgot who their realtor was. It's us. We're the problem because we didn't create the relationship. We treated it as a transaction. Like if somebody ordered a number 2 at McDonald's and we gave it to them, they left and we never cared to see them again. And unfortunately, most real estate agents transact and work in that way. They do the transaction. They hustle hard for 30, 45 days with this deal. They bring champagne, they bring cheese, a bunch of shit that's going to get eaten and thrown away, and you will never be remembered with it. They sit down, they love it, they get paid, they're out. They're out to find the next deal. Transactional agents, not relationship-based. And so as much as that client loved you and posted pictures with you and everything, don't expect them to remember you 5 years from now when they're ready to sell again, or 7 years from now when they're ready to sell again, or even 6 months from now when they're sitting down with their cousin comes to the house for the first time and goes, oh my God, I love your house. Who's your realtor? I can't find their number. Your fault. It's us. We're the problem. Right? So what Happy Grasshopper does in Frogman Follow-Up is it creates a system that allows for automated voicemail drops, text messages, and emails to go out. They're not cumbersome. It's 47 times a year on all 3 different things. And it's just open conversational stuff. It's not, hey, are you looking to buy a house? Hey, do you want to update on your property value? Hey, is your neighbor selling? Hey, who do you know wants to buy or sell real estate again? No, bro. It's relationship building, right? It's more like, hey, did you know that the last blockbuster in America has become an Airbnb, and you could rent it for X amount of dollars a night, and you have unlimited access to 2,000 movies on VHS, and there's a TV and a VCR player in there. How cool is that? That's the email that goes out. By the way, as great as Airbnbs are, I know a lot of folks are purchasing homes to make them Airbnbs. If you know anybody that would like to buy or sell real estate, give me a holler. It's just a simple touch. Text messages also include the anniversaries of their home and the anniversaries of their families, if you know it, and their birthdays. You can include all that in Frogman follow-up, right? And so what it's going to do is going to create automation that it knows their birthday, and a week before it sends them a text message and a voicemail drop from you that says, hey, I know it's early, but I wanted to be the first to wish you a happy birthday. Dude, the realtor sends you that? That's your realtor for life, right? All of you are realtors, so you're not thinking about it how I am. So think about this. The person who sold you your car wishes you a happy birthday every year, a week before your birthday. Also, the person that sold you your car sends you a text message on the anniversary of the purchase of your car. Hey, happy carversary. Hope you're really loving the Lexus that you bought, or the Mercedes, or the Range Rover, or the Cadillac, or the Lamborghini, or the Ferrari, or the Rolls Royce, or whatever you guys are driving, right? Hope you're enjoying it, right? How about this? 3 months before your lease is over, instead of you having to go to the dealership looking for, listen, my thing is up in 3 months, not really sure what to do. You guys got any specials? How about if you got messages 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, and 3 months before? Just a text message. Hey, your lease is up in about 6 months. Just want to let you know we got some options for you if you're open. If not, let me know what you plan to do with the car. If you plan to purchase it, let me know and I'll guide you the right direction. Some folks purchase their leases after the lease is up, right? You know, so think about that. Turn it off to real estate. Happy home anniversary. This goes out automatically for you, by the way. You know, how about if you remembered people's actual anniversaries? Now, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. Some of y'all are gonna like it, some of you won't, but use it if you want, use it if you don't. When you have a closing, there are two sides to the closing, right? There's a buyer side and a seller side. Let's assume you're representing the seller. Did the buyers have to provide their driver's license to the title company? Yes or no? Type it in the chat box. Did the buyers have to provide a copy of their driver's license to the title company? Okay. Everybody agrees yes. Here's the next question, yes or no? When the transaction is over, are you allowed to speak to that person? Yes or no? Yes, transaction's over. Transaction's over. They're no longer the client of the other agent, right? Yes or no? On that driver's license, can I get their name and their birth date? Yes. Could I take that information? Now, they're the buyers. I know which house they bought. I sold it to them, right? Could I take that information and put it in my Frogman follow-up to wish them a happy home anniversary, a happy birthday, things of that nature? Yes or no? Now, some of you like that advice, some of you don't. If you don't, you ain't trying to hustle that hard. I'm going to tell you right now, once the transaction is over, that person is fair game. And there is a 90% chance that the agent on the other side at some point in time is going to drop the ball, and that person will no longer remember that agent. However, if you put that person on automation consistently, when the time comes and they need something, they will call you. And here's the best thing, personal experience. Personal experience. I asked, why didn't you call your realtor? You know what their response was? I thought you were my realtor. Just 4 years later. I thought you were my realtor. All right, guys. So that's my last tip of the day. It is 12:08. We're 8 minutes off schedule. But guys, thank you for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed today. Ton of great information. Next week, we're really going to dig into copyright. We're going to talk about different types of copyright and things of that nature. And then following week after that, we're going to dig into social media and where to put all this information. And I'm going to give you some different websites you can go to, different things you can create. And we're just going to dig deeper and deeper. Guys, like Q1 is all about setting the foundation for the rest of the year. Q1 is about going in, about doing the things necessary to make the most noise, attract the most people. The more conversations you have, the more business you will do. Just remember to ask for it. All right, guys, have a fantastic day.